Hello everyone, I'm Brian. Today I'm reacting to what is spirituality for atheists. Okay, I consider myself an atheist. I don't believe in any higher power in terms of gods, like omnipotent, omnipresent, and omniscient. Now, is there higher power out there? Absolutely. The sun is definitely a higher power than us, or aliens, or even in the animal kingdoms, there are of higher power. I do believe, like, us humans, because of our intelligence, that we've been able to overcome a lot, but sheer in terms of physical strength, we are not the higher power in that. In terms of agility, in terms of speed, in terms of digestion, in terms of eyesight, in terms of a lot of other things, we're not the best at. But our intellect gives us that higher power in a different sense. Hopefully I didn't go too far with that one. Let's go ahead and hear what that's to say.
Spiritual humanism seems to borrow a lot of ideas and beliefs from Hinduism, but how can you convince people brought up, say, with another religion or atheists to adopt the idea rather than just adopting Hinduism?
Well, let me get my biases out there real quick before he answers. So that you can call me BS if I'm wrong or right or whatever. But this is something I believe in humanity. And I guess this is kind of closely to what Lakhani here is saying about spiritual humanism. I think, I'm not sure. And what I mean by I believe in humanity is the sheer fact, this is what I believed before this, and still do believe in it, is the sheer fact that we are, in a sense, control over this physical realm. What we do here, how we treat each other, it's going to be the way it is. If we're terrible to each other, we're going to make this a terrible life. If we're great to each other, it's going to be a great life for the most part. Nothing will be perfect, but you know, we can make the best of things. If we truly believe in each other and truly want to help each other out, we can make this a really good life. It'll not be perfect. It'll never be perfect. Nothing's perfect. But if we mistreat each other, if we fight amongst each other, it'll be a terrible life. And that's what I mean. I believe in humanity to be good. It's not that I believe humanity is good, but to try to be better and hope to make the world a better place.
You see, if I tell a modern Western youth, can you please kindly subscribe to Hinduism, it's got this wonderful idea of spiritual, the moment the word Hinduism appears, he's going to run away. Because with Hinduism comes a lot of baggage, they feel it's a weird religion with a lot of corruption, a lot of nonsense parading as Hinduism, so he's automatically put off.
Really? I would have thought that it's just another religion, and the fact that in Western culture they tend to be Catholic, Christian, those type of religion, and you're just going to be kind of making yourself a bit too different from cultural norms. So and plus there's not a lot of knowledge in the Western world about Hinduism, at least from my perspective. So I've never heard corruption, honestly. Nonsense parading as Hinduism. Yeah, I've never heard corruption in any religion. Well, there's corruption in all religions, so but I've never heard specifically from Hinduism, because again, there's not much Hinduism from my perspective from where I lived in the United States.
So rather than kind of promote the word Hinduism, I do it the other way around. I promote the word humanism, but I say qualify it. At the moment, you see, humanism started in the right mode. It was talking of like human dignity and equality and equality. It was a marvelous idea. It started as an ethical society in Boston. It's now become British Humanist Association. So it started in the right mode of dignifying humanity. But what has happened is in the last 20, 30 years, it has been hijacked by highly materialistic lobby like Richard Dawkins, who is trying to reduce humanity to nothing but expression of matter. Means we are extension of the material kingdom. And that is not real humanism, because it in a way compromises everything that's good about humanity. We are not just a lump of carbon.
I look at it differently. We can say that we are nothing but lumps of carbon, but that doesn't necessarily mean that we can't still do something greater. Maybe that's the optimist in me. I am a bit that. So even though, like, you know, how do I describe this? I can see the realities of what we are and what we're made out of. You know, nothing but the material plane. We are bananas and whatever else we eat. This is what the body's made out of. I can see that. Very simple. But that doesn't mean that we are restricted to just what we are. We can be more. We just have to realize what our capabilities are. Not everyone's capable of everything, but we just have to realize reality, understand reality, so we know how to act in reality. I was trying to sound smart there.
So rather than focus on Hinduism and say, oh, can you please subscribe to Hinduism because it's got spiritual humanism? I say, no, subscribe to humanism, but qualify it now. And my challenge is to take my challenge into the humanist lobby and say, in fact, I interact with them. And you see it on our website with the chief philosopher. In the magazine, I put in put in these lovely articles of spiritual humanism. And they don't like me one bit. They say, we don't like the word spiritual, Mr. Lakhani. Take it out. I say, no, that's the main thing about you, humanity. If I just extension of material in my soul, you're hardly worth bothering with. You can be flushed down the loo.
And I see what they're saying about that. Anytime you see spirituality, it's becoming a little bit of a loose term now, and let me define that real quick. So spirituality or spiritual is usually related to religion. And I think that's the reason why they want spirituality removed. It's because that's too related to religion. Now, spirituality is, I'm starting to hear that around, strangely within my own group a little bit. It's like, oh, I'm spiritual, I'm not religious. I'm like, what does that mean? Before watching this, that's what I was like, what does it even mean? Like, if you can't even define it, then it's nothing, means nothing, you know. It's like, I don't know how to Bobbity-goop. What is bobbity-goop? I don't know. It's not this pen. I was just holding it up. You know, it means nothing if you can't kind of define it. That way we have an understanding of something. Because if you have no understanding of it, then it doesn't make any sense, at least from my perspective. So, but I'm starting to hear, and now what I mean by it's loosening up a bit, it's the fact that now it's not necessarily always associated with religion now. It's being associated with just one with nature. I've been hearing that.
I really talk like that. So there's no, you've taken away my dignity. There's more to me than matter. And this is where, if you like, the transition is going to take place. I'm going to keep chipping away at humanism until they kind of adopt the word spiritual or qualify the word humanism with the word spirit or spirituality, and then we are talking sense. That is where, if I succeed, and I'm not going to let go, and we'll have a huge following from Western thinking youngsters who do not like a God in heaven, who do not like all these externals. They like to kind of dig deep into the nature of humanity. They are very keen on that, and they are thirsty. They are very thirsty for it. So we have the material. We don't need to put it in the tin can of Hinduism. Just focus on what is already attracting them, and then qualify it.
Couldn't agree more with him in that one. Yeah, I would fight these scientists. I wish I could hear the arguments so I could hopefully throw in my 2 cents in there. But yeah, no, like, and you know, is this body nothing but carbon material? Sure. But that doesn't mean we're limited by what we're made out of. That doesn't mean we're not capable of doing more, and that's what the spirituality side is. Human, right here. Nothing more, nothing less. Our capabilities, spiritual. You could say that. Absolutely. And I think that's something, I think it's mostly tied with the religion itself. Religion and spirit is so tied in and ingrained in Western culture that it's very difficult to separate the two. And I think Richard Dawkins and scientists, or Richard Dawkins and whoever else is involved in that, is trying to separate religion from science, and very much so. But trying to find the better of humanity without religion in it, and without the ties of religion, because again, in just Western culture, spirit is so heavily tied to religion, and these people don't see religion as a good thing. I used to think that too, but at the same time, I always had the thought, so long as you're not forcing anyone against their will or forcing anyone to believe in what you believe, perfectly fine with that. And that is still my belief today, that. But to say that religion is the evils of the world, it's not. It's just people in general. People, religion is but a tool. and it can be a tool for good and bad, and it is both. Again, it's all dependent on individuals whether they use it for good or bad. But yeah, spirit is just so tied in, but it's becoming a loosened term now to where it doesn't automatically mean religion. And hopefully, it's probably because of Lakhani and maybe a few others. But hopefully, I don't know, we develop this spiritual humanism, get a better understanding of the grips of life, and to understand that humans are all different, and the fact that humans are the cause of everything in a sense in this world, and we have to make sure we use these tools, whatever these tools may be, for the betterment. But we have to understand there's also evil people out there. Anyways, that's my reaction to what is spirituality for atheists. If you like my content, please consider subscribing, thumbs up, thumbs down, down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next vid.